Yeah, definitely. The mandate that we've signed this morning, acting on the buy side for an investor that's an investor that hasn't been into the Nordics before. So that's quite interesting. We are being contacted by some investors to help on the acquisition side. We've just worked in April of this year on a portfolio that if you'd asked me 2 years ago whether or not you could, it's sort of what I would say C-grade assets in B-grade locations across Sweden with a volume of say around about 700 million euro. And if you tried to sell those assets sort of 2 years ago, you just would not have found a buyer. And not only that, you wouldn't have found debt, but if you tried to sell that at the peak of the market in 2007, you would have been able to get debt, and that portfolio would have traded around about, say, 6.5%. And I think what we've seen in April of this year, acting for the investors, the types of buyers that are looking at this type of thing, you have all of the big investors looking at this type of thing, and I think from our perspective, when we've been advising, the type of, you can get on that kind of portfolio now, say 65% loan to value, you can get 145 bips over base for the debt perspective, and it's quite staggering to see how quickly that, what I would call the value add or opportunistic market has come back on stream, especially in the Nordics. And of course it needs to be in a large lot size, the package needs to be big. If it's individual assets, it's a different story, but that's definitely a big change and a big re-entry from a lot of these investors. And all of the flights have been busy going down to Spain, and there's been a lot of activity down in Spain that we all know about. Question for me would be, has fundamentally Spain recovered to the same sort of situation? A lot of these big investors are now saying, why are we all piling in all at the same time there? And we're starting to see some of these guys looking up into the Nordics.